Okay, I'd like to call the City of Pierz City Council meeting for April 10th, 2023. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pierz City Council meeting for April 10th. I would like to get an approval for the minutes, or if anybody's got any thoughts or anything for,
I'll make a motion to approve March 27th regular city council minutes meeting.
Donnie makes a motion to approve the March 27th
I'll
minutes.
second it.
Jackie is seconding the minutes for March 27th. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes to approve the minutes for the March 27th regular city council meeting. So the next thing on our agenda is additions or subtractions to the agenda. I think we were looking at doing a closed meeting towards the end of our agenda, our agenda, and I believe we want to take that off. So if I could get a motion to remove that from the agenda?
I'll make that motion to remove the closed meeting off of this month's meeting.
Okay, Donnie makes a motion to remove the closed meeting at the end of,
I'll second it.
Jackie seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed to remove the closed meeting off of our agenda. Any additions to it?
For me.
Looking good? Okay. So the first thing on the docket is Jim with the planning and zoning and building permitting, and I believe he is going to do a little presentation he looked at the Holy Trinity Catholic School concrete permit application.
Yes, that's the only permit we have this time is a concrete permit by Holy Trinity Catholic School. They want to make a sidewalk along the south side of the school, between the new playground and the school. They have a narrow sidewalk under, they want to make it all the way up against the school. They had some difficulty there this year in the snow because they put the fence right up against the sidewalk, and the sidewalk is narrow enough they can't get the lawn tractor on there anymore. And it's just kind of a 4-foot area between there and the school, all the way along there, all the way out to the public sidewalk, as I would call it. And then there's a old section of sidewalk that goes out to the public sidewalk from the playground, and they're saying they may replace that also.
Okay.
And we really don't have any concern with those at all, and we recommend that you approve that.
Sounds good to me. Could I get a motion to approve the permit?
I'll make that motion to approve the planning and zoning for the school.
Okay, Donnie makes a motion to approve the permit for the Holy Trinity Catholic School cement.
I'll second.
Jackie is seconding the motion, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for the permit for the Holy Trinity Catholic School concrete permit. Then the next thing we have to cover this evening, we have Jared Griffith here, and he is going to discuss our reclamation, our gravel pit reclamation permitting environmental and development study that he is working on.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council.
Good evening.
As you mentioned tonight in your packet is our proposal for the reclamation and environmental study for the Necro gravel pit just east of town here. As we all are aware, the city has been presented with a great opportunity to expand their campground and recreational park. With that, they would like to do some due diligence on what all is involved with that site and what they're getting themselves into if they do purchase the property. So part of that is doing this reclamation and environmental study. Basically, the proposal is broken down into 4 tasks. First being a phase 1 environmental site assessment. SEH will perform a phase 1 environmental assessment in accordance with the ASTM standard method E1527-21, standard practice for environmental site assessments. Basically, what this is saying is we will be doing two different items under this task here. A site visit to evaluate any visual or visual evidence of any environmental issues on the property. Going through public record reviews, map reviews, historical aerials and stuff like that of the site. Property research. We will also be doing interviews of past owners, past employees at the gravel pit, and then wrapping it all together with a evaluation that's put into a report for a future presentation. The second task would then be a boundary survey. That is simply what it sounds. We survey the boundary, identify property corners, do our calculations for those property lines, and then we would be setting any property corners, and then submitting and drafting those certificates for those property corners, and also the property as a whole, a certificate of survey for the property. Task 3 would be finishing out our wetland delineation. Back in 2019, we kind of started this process of looking into that site. Since then, we haven't finished and completed the report due to concerns of kind of when we would be looking to purchase that property. So part of that task would just be, finalizing that report, wrapping everything up, and then submitting it to the local LGU. Task 4 would then be the reclamation requirements assistance. So right now, just doing kind of a high level look into what this would take on, kind of effort that would take on our end. Sand and gravel pit reclamations is regulated by the local government. So in this case, currently, it would be the county. What we need to determine and figure out is whether or not once you purchase that property, annex it into the city, does the city then become the LGU of that and determine what kind of standards you put onto that site. So that will be part of that task 5 there. And also, I guess with that, we will be assisting with any zoning or ordinance text that may need to be adjusted to fit your city. Schedule, we will be starting this, wasn't going to be as soon as weather permitting. Getting some nice weather now, so getting on site should be sooner than later. Be able to see the evidence that went out of the pollutions that are getting on site. But we are thinking presenting this in an August meeting, so that should give us time to do that. And we are proposing that this proposal be done at an hourly rate for a grand total, do not exceed a grand total of $18,300. With that, I'm here to answer any questions you may have on any of those 4 tasks or.
We touched on it just a little bit earlier, but so this is for a real, fairly general look at it, but it's going to give us a really good idea where we can sit environmentally and with the work that we have to do to reclaim it. There is a phase 2 if Jared runs into something that maybe environmentally or something that there's a problem. I think it's well worth the money just to find out where we sit with that, where we don't want to be halfway into the project and then run into something that we acquire the land and run into a project and all of a sudden we hit something that we're not expecting to. So I think
I don't disagree. I do have a question. What exactly is an environmental lien?
Environmental lien?
Because it's not included. So it's one of those
Correct.
things.
Actually, I am pretty sure that can be discovered during the task 2 for our boundary survey when we request title work.
Okay,
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty
we can
sure
get
with-
it with that.
yeah,
But essentially, if there's any environmental impacts that this site may have, as far as, buried waste, contaminated fill, stuff like that, there should be that on record on the site.
yeah, because that's kind of one of those things that I would want to see about adding, because if there's a huge environmental lien on the property, that to me would, that's going to designate if it's going to be something worth cleaning up or not.
Mhm.
So if that's something that we could look at, if you can include it in that second task or whatever that you're looking at, or I guess for me, it's kind of one of those things that if we're going to spend this kind of money, I want to know the environmental impact on that, and or if there is any pending liens, because that to me is a huge thing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And as the mayor mentioned, phase 1 is just more of like a, I don't want to say high level, but more of a, see what's on there physically on the ground, if there's any evidence of that. And then that phase 2, if that is required, that requirement is based on the scope of, or our findings in phase 1. That phase 2 would be the sampling and drilling and doing things like that to determine what more of the serious impacts are.
Theoretically, in phase 1, you're pulling title.
For yes, part of the boundary survey would be helping
Okay.
out with that title work, yes.
So when we had the problem, probably 10 years ago, Bob, with the amount of sand that was taken out of there, didn't we have to have that surveyed then?
There was some survey work done, but I don't know that it was 100% of a boundary survey. It was more like measuring how much material was taking out.
Okay.
Kind of a 3D
'Cause I,
survey.
I remember us going through that process. It's got to be at least 10 years ago.
There are a number of pins just working over there, years ago. I remember finding
Yeah.
pins, but just to start over and kind of clearly define that again, I
Yep.
think.
Yeah, I think.
Would help.
In a brief discussion with our survey, when he was looking at this, putting together a scope, I think he said he was able to find 3 certified pins. Obviously, this property is a little unique as far as the shape of it goes, 4 and 3 corners. But yeah, I think there are some existing ones out there.
Mhm.
Which ones I can tell you.
Gary, do you got any questions at all?
Oh.
Sarah? I guess I would be looking for a vote to approve this. Like I said, I think it's not super cheap, but I think it's something we need to do if we're going to put a major investment into the property. So the other thing was, which we discussed, I think, at the last meeting, if Knife River was even wanted to even sell it, we're going, are we going to go through this whole thing and then all of a sudden we can't even acquire it from them?
Right.
So Bob and I put a call into Knife River today, and we talked to Tim Otrimba, and he's working pretty close with that project out there. He said that they are willing to work with us on purchasing it. So they had a couple other buyers, but the buyers backed out, and he said, so if we're interested in it, and so then our next thing would be is with the LCCMR grant, and so that there's a timeline for that, which kind of runs with what Jared's doing. That's why his thing's going to probably be back in August, because that's about the time, pretty close to where we're probably going to find out whether we get that grant, and then that would be applicable for 2024, right, Bob?
We'd be funded in July of 24.
24.
Correct.
So then that all work together, we could do negotiations if we can get that grant. If we don't get the grant, We'd have to look at if we have other avenues of purchasing it or what have you at that point. So that's kind of the time frame for how, so it all kind of fits in really good, and we have time to discuss it, but the biggest thing is that we're laying the groundwork for the future purchase of it.
I'd make a motion to approve the not to exceed $18,300 for phase one.
Okay, Jackie makes the motion to approve the gravel pit reclamation permitting environmental development study, phase one.
I'll second that.
Gary's going to second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Jared, to move out forward with the gravel pit reclamation permitting environmental development study.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking your time
Thanks,
with
Jared.
us. Then the next one we have is the resolution 2023-0410-1. It's a resolution in support of the community impact funding project. If you guys look in your packet, it really is to provide a snowplow for a front-end loader snowplow for attachment for the front-end loader that we're looking at purchasing. Bob was good enough to get us into it would be a project that we could get some funding for that snowplow, right, Bob?
Yeah, Sourcewell changed for this year their community impact funding. It used to be more of a regional focus where communities and the city actually got funding for it years ago with the speed radar signs. But they kind of changed it this year to be a lottery system so that cities within communities within their jurisdictions can apply for a project between 20 and 50,000, and then those projects go to a lottery system. And there's going to be a meeting in May, and I'll be attending that, where all these projects go to lottery, and they start choosing projects until they run out of money. So we have a chance, depending on how many projects are submitted. So
One in something.
one in something, and there's not an unlimited amount of
So
cities.
it's only good for us, I guess, because I mean, if we get it, then we have it funded. So I think it's a nice opportunity for us to try to get into that lottery system for it. So if I could get a motion to approve Resolution 2023-0410-1 for the community impact funding project.
I'll make the motion.
Donnie makes the motion. If I could get a second.
Second that.
Gary seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried for Resolution 2023-0410-1. The resolution in support of the community impact funding. So we also have a workshop coming up, which is going to be on April 24th, which we approved in the last session that we had. And we got the topics that we just kind of want to go over. And then we just would like to finalize that. So number one would be the industrial park lots. We have two of those left, and we kind of got to figure out what options we have with those. We also would have Ron Karst coming in. He would like to talk to us about some land that he owns and some development possibilities with that. Then we have our donation process budget, which you guys heard me harp on a couple of times, that I think we should maybe set some borders for those local borders. And then the edible THC, legalizing marijuana. I know Eric wants to come in and talk about that, and then we can kind of start maybe moving a little forward on how we are going to address it, because it's not going to go away, obviously. And then we have employee reviews and wage increases that we'd like to discuss, and then the small cities development program. I don't know if you guys would like to add anything else to it. You guys good?
It's a full night.
It is. I know it. And we have a meeting after that. So
I think I'll approve, I'll make a motion to approve just the resolution or just the agenda as it sits. No
Great.
additions this
Okay.
Yeah,
time.
and whatever we can get through that night, we get through.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if we don't, we're gonna have to reset up the next one.
Yep.
Yep, sounds good. Okay, Jackie makes the approval to approve what we currently have on the list for our workshop.
I'll second
Gary seconding it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried for our city council workshop agenda. Then we also have the reminder of our local Board of Appeals equalization, which gives our city the opportunity to come in and talk about the taxes that are levied on them. So we have Jackie, who's nice enough to join us, and Donnie is going to be there, and then I'll be there. And I think you're there too, Bob, right? So we have all four of us, and then Jackie and I are both certified.
So depending on how it is, because that day I actually have a meeting at work that I have to attend at 1:00. So my attendance could be Zoom related if we need it, but being there, right, I just can't make it happen.
Do we need three?
We need to have 3.
Um,
I'll be in prison.
I can attend.
can
That's
you Zoom?
unfortunate.
Will they let you Zoom from there?
No
I can
privileges
Zoom
for
it,
you.
be late, but if it's gonna go like a really long time is when that.
We'd know right away, probably fairly quick, how long it would go, Bob, but can we
Well,
do a Zoom?
You
I don't-
can't do a Zoom anymore because the governor got rid of that, the pandemic.
Okay.
I mean, the qualification there is if you're, wherever you're at has to be posted on the public notice, which is already too late. So, yeah, you won't meet all the requirements.
Okay, so
It'd be up to Kyle.
it'd be up to Kyle. Do you,
And if we don't have a quorum of 3, then the city would lose for 2 assessment years the ability to have the hearing. It
I'll
would go
be
directly
there.
to the county.
Like if I've got, it is what it
At
is.
this point, do people have to sign up in advance?
They have to sign up in advance. I did see
Anybody
that
yet?
today. I haven't heard anything from the county.
Right, well, they won't tell you until the day before, probably.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Okay, let me know. I'm gonna try to get it arranged that I can be here.
Okay.
Maybe I can push my meeting back a half an hour or an hour. And if I can't, or if we don't have anybody, do we have to hold it then if nobody's here?
I guess I'll double check on that too. I believe we still do, but
Okay.
for
But
walk-ins?
that might be just an open, and more of an open and shut.
it would be.
Like
We've done that
like
before.
you might have to wait 10 or 15 minutes. If nobody shows up, I think you can close it.
Okay.
Because typically they would
You
try to
check
come
on
right
the
away
times.
knowing.
Yeah.
That'll give me more information for tomorrow that I can be like, yep, I totally spaced on this. You know, new job and all, and then it happens. I'm human.
But we've
I love
done,
doing this.
we've done it before where nobody's signed up and we've opened for 5 minutes and closed.
I did
So,
that the first year that I did it.
Yep.
So we will kind of shoot for that then, I guess, right, Jackie?
Yep.
No.
Okay. The next order of business is our department reports, and we're fortunate to have Tony back here again.
Hot seat, Tony, come on in.
Our new, Tony's our new clubhouse manager.
All right, after research, I would like to get approval to get a new POS system for the clubhouse. Club Caddy is the top runner. They just seem to have a lot more options and the price is there with everyone else. They're actually $10 cheaper a month compared to the other ones. And what they have to offer is what I think we need for this year and the following years, coming up with the new 9. It's got an app for people to use, and it's going to be very easy to train staff in as well. And it's going to eliminate a lot of extra work that is being done with other spreadsheets and things like that with reports. It's just got a lot to offer. And
And-
the old system is not very good.
Yes, and the park board met last week, and the park board also approved it overwhelmingly to go with that system, so.
Yeah, there's no, I mean, I would even say go ahead with the beverage cart thing too. Like, do the whole thing. If, my philosophy on this is, I would rather do it all now and get the kinks worked out before the 18 hole is going and know that it's working than to then get into a situation where the 18 hole is going and then we're adding the beverage cart and we're doing all that and that's added training that we're going to have to do on on a busy season. So my philosophy is get the full package. Let's get it running for a season. If we only have to have it for a year and a 30-day. If it's not working, then next year we can cancel the beverage cart or we can do, something like that.
The nice thing with that beverage cart is it's not just for the beverage cart. They can use it inside the clubhouse as well. So if they're really busy on the inside taking orders for food and beverages and on the patio and things, they can use it there. It's actually, you can use it anywhere. They go uptown, I think it even works. So that is one of those nice things. It's just, they said that's the best thing for a beverage cart because you set it in there, you go up there, they can swipe their credit card, they can do everything away from the clubhouse.
So, I mean, that would be my suggestion is let's go full out. Let's get it all taken care of for the year. See how it's going. We'll use this year as our trial year. If it's not working or if it's not something that's functional, I would trust that you would come to us and say this isn't working and we need to try something else and get the feedback. I would like to see that added onto the renewals of the membership. How did this go this year? Did you like this beverage? Did you like this ordering system? Did you not? Did it make your experience easier or something like that? So then the members are actually getting we're getting feedback from them. But that would be my motion is to approve the club caddy. I'd make a motion to approve the club caddy in full.
Okay, Jackie makes a motion to approve the club caddy for down at our golf course.
Definitely second that, yeah.
Gary's going to second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to purchase the club caddy for the golf course.
Then the second thing I have is I have 3 new employees. We have 3 new employees. One is Lisa Leidenfrost. There is Chris Emerson, and then Kyle Stengel. I think they're going to be good for our team. Kyle is 16, but he says he is willing to cook. He's willing to cook in. Seems super, super friendly. Chris Emerson, doesn't really want to be put on the schedule, but she's going to be one of those that will pick up anytime we need it. Like if she needs to be there in 5 minutes, she can be there if she's available. More to help me out during the days and stuff because we don't have to worry about school hours or things like that. Same thing with Lisa Leidenfrost. She's going to be one of those that will be able to come in if needed, and we'll be there in May. And then I would also like to increase a wage. I did not, since I'm new, I didn't know who was here in the past. And Lydia Otrimba, I guess, has been here for, I think it was 5 years. And she was at a pretty low wage, but she is a cook. She knows the systems, she knows the clubhouse, and I think she would benefit a lot if we could increase her wage to 14.
Where's she at?
I put her to 13 this year, but she has been here longer than anybody else. I think she might have, maybe Maddie's been here just as long, but she has been here longer than most everyone. And with her cooking experience.
So has she been here longer than Casey Hoheisel?
I think so. I think a year more.
I'd make a motion that Lydia should make then $14.50 an hour and not be 50 cents higher than Casey.
I'm just, she's willing to work the weekends and she's willing to work the weeks, and I need cooks. And I know people are scared to cook, and that's one of the hard things to teach.
I guess Jackie makes a motion for $14.50 for the cook down at the Pierz golf course.
Second that.
Along with that, would also be the 3 hires, or you want them all
Oh,
separate?
I would go all 3. Yeah, I guess the 3
Well,
hires.
it'd be 3 hires and Lydia's
Okay.
wage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do
Okay.
it all at
The
the
3,
same
yeah.
time is what I'm
That's
asking.
fine, yeah. I'll make the motion for all 3 hires and then the
Lydia's.
increase to $14.50 for Lydia.
Okay. Okay.
Gary
Jackie
already-
makes a motion.
Gary already seconded it.
Gary seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for 3 hires, and then Lydia, raise for Lydia.
Thanks, Tony.
Moving forward, we have the treasurer's.
You got Bob yet?
Oh, okay. I think, were you going to cover the, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. Yeah, I
Right at
got
the
you. I
bottom
moved
there.
ahead, jumped ahead.
It's okay.
So you're kind of part of the treasurer's report too, aren't you?
No,
I can
that's separate.
kind of help out
Oh,
with
Sarah's going to do it? Oh,
Sarah
that's
at the end.
awesome.
Well, yeah, that's my job.
Fabulous. Okay, I guess Bob's going to go. I was thinking it was all in one. So Bob is going to cover his department report.
Great. So we talked about a new hire on the new 9 for helping out with labor, and we did a couple interviews. We had 2 applicants that were both high schoolers, so they can't start till June, which is not great for us, but we can still make it work. There's going to be sod laying and stuff during the summer, but so we'd like to hire Bryce LeBlanc and Jack Biker, and they would both start at $10.75 per hour. The hours are going to be quite sporadic, just depending on what we have to do, but that's kind of where we're at.
Bryce and who?
Bryce LeBlanc and Jack Biker, Byker.
And at 10.75 an hour.
Correct.
Could I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Diane's making a motion to hire Bryce and Jack for $10.75 an hour for out the golf course.
Second that.
Gary seconding it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, Bob, to hire Bryce and Jack.
Thank you.
$10.75 an hour.
And then the other option we have out there for the new 9 is Nick Shaw. He's finished college. He's worked for us down at the golf course for a number of years, and he is willing to come back and help out on the old 9 or new 9, wherever. The thing with Nick is he's applying for other jobs in his degree, so he could leave in a week or two, but we could definitely use him if he's available. So we'd like to bump his wage up to $20 per hour for this. It's going to, again, just be temporary for this.
Where was he at?
construction.
Where was he at last?
He was at 16 last year, so. That was Dave's proposal to Nick, and Nick's a good worker, and he's older, so I mean, he can get stuff done, and he can
What's his
jump in a
degree
piece of
in?
equipment too. It's finance or business, something like that, so. That would be our recommendation.
Would somebody,
I'll make a motion to
Jack-
approve the wage increase for 20 an hour.
okay, Jackie makes a motion to approve the wage increase of $16 to $20 an hour.
Second that.
Gary's going to second the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And he'll be able to help Zach out. I mean, he'll be everywhere, but.
He'll be everywhere, but we're not going to necessarily use him on the existing 9 unless
Gonna
we
probably
absolutely
be
have to.
Also help train in Bryce and Jack a little bit. Is kind of the
Possibly.
thought process as well.
Possibly. Bryce and Jack are mostly going to be on the new 9. We have enough high school kids for the existing 9. So Nick's definitely going to be a last resort on the existing 9 now that we have Nate. I just want to be clear on that too. I mean, we're going to be using, but at the same time, if we can have, if his skills are used better on the existing 9, we can move Nate to the new 9 or however that looks. So the other thing I wanted to update, Eric Gaffkey's still doing his fire training, so Monday nights don't work for him. But he thinks by the end of the week he'll have a loader picked out, so we'll be able to get that, within the next week or two. So that's great. And the other thing, Jack reminded me too, this a year or two ago, the city council got logoed, just like Jackie has on City of Pierz for the council and treasurer. And I'd have to look back if we allowed 1 or 2 items of clothing for the council members, and the city paid for it, but.
I think we did 2. Because we got
Thought it
shirts and a
was 2.
polo and a cover up like this that I wore last month.
So if
I
there's,
think we paid everything ourselves.
the city did pay for at least 1. I thought it was 2, but I'll double check that and send that out.
Yeah,
so,
double check that.
Yeah. And I guess my thoughts now that we have 3 new members, it's nice when you have meetings and whatnot,
It is
especially out of
nice.
town.
Especially with like the city cleanup and different things like that. Like
Yeah.
that's where I like to wear a lot of my stuff is.
I mean, personal opinion, I think it's a great idea. The other thing is that, if we get two, maybe we could get one for free and pay for one or something. At least then they're half price.
If you want to do that, have that
Give
discussion
the
now and
option,
then.
yeah, have an option. If you want to provide one, if you want two, just buy the second one. I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, I would say if whatever we did last year is fine, and then if it is like one where it would, my motion
Whatever it
would
is, it
be-
is.
Yeah, like.
I
it
think
will
you
be
guys
last
actually,
year.
I think Dion came up with, or was it you? Somebody came up with, here's your options.
I think
we-
she went with,
So-
like, more input on that this year, please.
Well, that's fine, but I mean, it came down to where it was an option for a polo shirt.
I didn't
and a
have an
color.
option for a polo shirt, else I'd have gotten a polo shirt, but, yeah.
But-
Okay, let's take it to a workshop.
Not, let's just do what we did last year, and then if
Right.
there was no free shirt, add one free.
But
and then
Jackie
one
wants,
paid.
but
Yeah,
Jackie
I
would
think
like
so.
input on
Yeah,
what
Yeah.
it could be.
Yeah, before it goes live, can I? please
That's
have
fine.
input?
Absolutely.
No problem.
That's all I had.
Okay, then we have Sarah with the treasurer's report.
Yep. Balancing didn't go quite as smoothly as it did last time, but we got it figured out. And everything balanced to the penny. The balance in the checkbook as of March 31st was $2,325,360.57. And this the checking account is like a higher interest account. That was worked out with the previous mayor at 4.33%. So if anybody's interested, the interest earned for this month was $8,662.87. Year to date is $25,973.89. So that's some pretty good interest earned. I'm still kind of familiarizing myself with the regular claims or the monthly claims, but I didn't see anything out that stood out to me. So the claims amount was $418,531.71. Any questions?
We have to prove them separate. So I'll make the motion that we approve
Right.
the treasurer's report
Okay,
presented.
Donnie makes the motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll second it.
Jackie seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? A motion carried to approve the treasurer's report. And then do we have to,
And then we have to do the claims.
somebody want to make a
So
motion for the
I'll-
claims?
I'll make the motion for the claims also.
Okay, Donnie's making a motion to approve the claims.
And I'll second.
Jackie seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried to approve the claims. I'd like to just touch base real quick on that whole thing. I'm looking at some of these things, we kind of running into a little issue with the fire fund and then also with the street improvement fund. Now, I know we got some monies coming in that will fill in some of that, but I believe at some point we need to take a look at and really take a hard look at maybe some just do dedicated funds or at least stick with them on some of these things and how much money we want to fund them with. That way it would help from dropping into the negative with some of this stuff. And it would really help for just for budgeting stuff, even if we're talking about levies or what have you, we have a better idea of what we're looking at or going into for the next year, what we have to raise. So that's just kind of my comment on that. And that's something we can look at a couple months down the road if we have to, I think, right, Bob?
Yeah, that's good. And then also included in your packet, page 55, every quarter, I print out a report for the department heads to kind of look at their budget. But page 55 is just kind of a summary of our funds. And I'm going to include that, at the end of every quarter also. But you can just kind of see that profit loss year to date for each fund. And the end column is profit loss last year. So that's kind of the information that the auditor went through at the last meeting. And it just kind of gives us a snapshot after the first quarter of profit loss in each fund. But like John was saying too, so last year our fire fund was in the negative 67,000. So that's just something we actually took 90,000 out of ARPA money as well. So I mean, it's just something we've been under levying or overspending, however you want to look at it. But And then, starting on page 56, like I said, this is kind of that detailed revenue expense. And if you want to, those are reports that we're going to be using with the budget that's coming up starting in July. So thanks for bringing that up. And that's the other thing too, for the claims, I actually put that on the counter now for documents to sign, so everybody at the end can just make their way down there, so we don't have to pass it during the meeting and disrupt that, so
You guys are awesome.
see how that change goes.
Efficiencies, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's all about efficiencies.
Perfect.
Thanks, Sarah, for balancing.
Yeah,
this kind
thank you
of a-
so much.
Sure.
Is that, so anybody else have any questions at all? Donnie, Gary?
I'm right there with you, John.
Yeah, okay, awesome. So, and the updates we got covered, I believe, right? That's under the treasury report too? The updates? for-
Yeah, I have nothing.
Get done, okay. So then, believe it or not, we're at the point of adjournment.
Donnie's job.
Now, what I got told is if we wait 2 minutes, Sarah,
Nope, don't do it.
We might be actually setting a record, you guys. I don't know, this might be a record
I
for
will
us.
make the motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Okay, Donnie makes a motion to adjourn. Jackie seconds it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried to adjourn